Hi, everyone. Welcome to Breaking Through Barriers. I'm your host, Amanda Mirus, and today I am interviewing Rebecca with First Steps of Sanity. Hi, Rebecca.
Hey,
How are you doing today?
pretty good. How about you?
Good. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I'm super excited to have you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. This is gonna be so
Yay.
much fun.
Yeah. I was like super excited because everything that you were telling me that you do, I think my listeners will really get a lot from it. So, yeah.
That's really great. I'm glad. I'm always here to help people.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you, like where you're from, what you do, and everything like that.
Yeah, so I'm actually in Florida. I'm in Tampa, Florida. So I'm where all the car accidents happen.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh, it's crazy down here, especially now with like snowbirds. Like I just saw a
Oh.
Vermont tag that said skinny dipping and it was like a 70 plus couple in there. I'm
You're like, wait a second.
like I saw it and I was like, oh, it's some teenagers on like some break or something. And then I passed them and I'm like,
Oh,
okay, that's not bad. All right.
that's
But
so funny.
I was laughing so hard. But I started First Steps to Sanity a little over a year ago, and it kind of like transformed into this weird multi-dimensional thing. So I had a kind of like a traumatic event happen, and I was like, all right, I don't want to just sit here and like deal with it. I want to do something about it. So I started to kind of like write a book,
Oh,
and I never finished it, to be honest. Like I'll probably circle back to it at some point, but then I was like, I don't want to write a book. I want to write blog posts. And I was like, I can teach this. And then like over like a 6-month period, it evolved into this really amazing like coaching business where I'm like helping women who, go through the same things that I used to go through many years ago and help them overcome their anxiety, help them, heal and move forward with the life that they want, accomplish goals, kind of really hone in on that mindset that they've always wanted. And it's been so much fun. And I'm like
yeah.
a baby entrepreneur and I'm just like loving
I
it.
love it. That's so awesome. So I like that you help other people and women get over anxiety and stuff. And you said that that's something that you experienced and you went through. How how were you able to get over it and get through that
It
yourself?
wasn't so much as like get over it per se, as much as
Yeah.
it was to like kind of overcome and manage it.
Hmm.
I went to a total of 13 therapists that
Wow.
none of them helped me, like at
Wow.
all.
Oh
It
my
was kind of
God.
like, yeah, it was not my forte. And they all just like would end every session with, oh, well, you're not going to get where you want to get unless you take like Xanax. And I'm
Ugh.
like, okay, but like I have a family, like a huge like addiction problem in my family, and you want to give me Xanax?
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Like what?
no.
That doesn't add up in my head. And so I was like, all right, I'm done. Like I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna figure it out on my own. And it was a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of like trying this and doing that. And,
Mhm.
I'm not an essential oils person and that works for some, but it doesn't work for me. And I ended up finding like just a really good routine. I figured out that for me, I have high functioning anxiety. Routines are so vital for me. If I
Mhm.
get up and I'm doing, consistent things and I'm drinking, enough water and I'm eating the right foods and I'm getting the exercise in and, I'm working on the mindset and just sitting with my feelings too was a big one for me because I'm
Yeah.
like the kind of person that's like, don't tell anybody, hide
Mm.
it. Like I was the
Yeah.
class clown, like the worst day I would come in and just make everybody laugh and then I'd go home and just break.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. That's
And
usually how it is. Usually the people that make you laugh and that they, help other people, like, be positive, they're the ones struggling the most. That's why I always say, like, check in with your friends that always seem okay.
yeah, check in on your strong friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm always every time that meme circles Facebook, I always know I'm like, all right, I'm about to get like 10 messages. It always happens. They're like, hey, you're my strong friend. How are you doing? I'm like, I love it. Like, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's nice.
But
Aw.
it, yeah, I could go on
So
for like years on this.
so looking back when you first started, is there anything that you would do differently?
Honestly, no. Most of my life, like, there's only one regret that I really have, and I'm not even sure I would change it because I kind of have like this strong belief that, things work out the way that they have to work out, and you do the things that kind of like you're meant to do. And if you change it, it could change a lot of other things. And I don't, I like where my life's at. I don't want to change my life where it's at now. And it kind of sucks some of the things you had to do to get there. But when you get to that end point, you're like,
It
all
made
right,
you
it
who
was
you
worth it.
yeah, and it made you who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and stronger and everything like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm. Um, so when first starting out, if you could like talk to your younger self, what is one piece of advice you would give your younger self?
So I went actually undiagnosed for the majority of my life. It wasn't until my dad passed away that my mom was like, all right, you need to go to therapy. And I spent most of middle school, all of high school thinking I was crazy. I was like, there's something wrong with me. Like, nobody can
Wow.
know. Like, I have to keep it in. Like, I don't want to be, Baker acted or like sent to the loony bin. Like, if I tell somebody what I'm actually feeling, what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And I wish I could just go back and tell her, like, you're fine. You're okay. You're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. Like, this is normal. Like, the
You're
majority of
gonna
women
get
at
through
some
it.
point in their life is going to go through this.
Yeah, it's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I love that you just like help other women and you focus on like mental health. I think that's a huge thing that needs to be discussed more openly just because it's everyone has mental health issues and people just try and hide it. How have you helped somebody that really helped you? Like helping other people will help you. So, is there somebody that you're like, wow, like this helped me more, I think?
So my best friend, actually, she's gone through a lot within her life. Actually, the both of them have gone through a lot within their life, and we have like this 3-person group chat, and we'll constantly build each other up. But it's so funny to see like all the things that we tell her. She comes back at us now when we're having bad days, and she just repeats
Really?
it. And I'm like, son of a bitch, you just Rebecca'd me. Like, how'd you do that?
Oh, that's so awesome.
And it's just like kind of cool to see other people that are going through the same thing as you. And
Mhm.
like it's shitty in a way because it's like, wow, I'm sorry you have to go through that, but it's cool because it's like, okay, I'm not alone. Like, that's
Yeah, I could
great.
relate to that.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's what we all want, like, as humans, is to not be alone. So when you kind of validate yourself in that way, it's so amazing. And it just really helps you to like hone in on that. I'm normal. Like, I'm good. I got this. Like, I can accomplish anything I want.
exactly. It's all about mindset and then having a good tribe with you that helps like boost you up and everything like that.
Yes. Tribe
Uh,
is so important.
it is, yeah. It's some people are like, oh, I just like being alone, and it's like, well, no, everybody likes to like have somebody and be loved. Like that's humans were meant to be loved and like meant to
Yeah.
socialize and stuff like that. So you said that a way that you helped with your anxiety was to do a routine and a schedule. It's nice that you like work for yourself and everything, but did COVID, like quarantine, did that really affect your mood and your mental health and stuff?
Honestly, a little bit for the claustrophobia, but
Mm,
I have like a thing with people being in my personal bubble. And then when COVID happened in Florida, it was like one of the worst areas to be in. And
yeah.
then on top of that, I swear, man, every person in the grocery store did not give a shit.
Really?
Yeah, they would like just would get closer to you is what it felt like. So my big thing was like claustrophobia. Like, it got so bad. And I'm not like a natural claustrophobic, but it's just when people surround me, and then like
And then with everything
a
going on,
germophobia kind
yeah.
of came in, and I was like, I'm losing it. Oh my God. But
I
I just
totally
got grocery
get
delivery and I was fine. I was like, all right, we're good now.
that. Yes, the power of technology.
Right?
Can
Yeah. And
you
then
imagine, like, I was telling one of my girlfriends, can you imagine, like, going through quarantine without technology? Like, that sounds terrible, but can you just imagine? I don't know.
it would be horrible. There was a lot of Netflix, and like it actually kind of helped me because I quit my 9 to 5 because it just got to be too much with the COVID. And
Mhm.
like they were exposing people and not telling them, and
Mm-mm.
it was a whole hot mess. So I was like, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm out. So it actually like made it better for me,
Yeah, it, like,
which
propelled
is
your
crazy.
business.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, it kind of gave me not the excuse, but the reason to like, okay, well, now you can't go anywhere, so you have to stay home and work on yourself. Like, I've done a lot of healing this year. Like,
Oh,
I've
that's
done
so
so
great.
much. Yeah, and
Oh,
everyone's like 2020 sucks, and I'm like, I actually kind of like 2020.
me
Like,
too, and I feel so guilty for saying it. I'm like, I've done so much, like, for my brand, for my health, like, ugh, and I'm just like, I feel guilty saying that I'm like 2020's been good to me. I don't
yeah,
know.
like we've lost a lot of people in our family, but at the same
Oh
time, it's
no.
like I'm kind of like glad that we had this time to like shift back,
Yeah,
focus on ourselves, put ourselves
exactly.
foot first, not put ourselves foot, but heal.
I got what you meant.
Yeah.
But it's the truth, and it's like I feel like as humans we were just so much in a hurry all the time. It was like keep going, keep going, keep pushing, and then it was like it just let us pause for a second and realize like what's important to us and who's important to us and like what we need to focus on instead of just always looking to do the next thing and keep going without taking a break.
Exactly. Yeah. So it really helped just getting back to like basics basically and taking
Mhm.
care of yourself. And I mean, so many parents, I mean, I'm sure not all of them are happy about this, but so many parents are like
Yeah.
seeing their kids all the time. They're like, this is great. And then the others are like, can you please take him
Yeah,
back?
please.
Give the teachers more money. Like,
I know. Now they're like, "Oh, okay, so the teacher was right. Like, it's not the teacher's fault. My child is just an asshole." Like,
yeah, right? Oh my God. I've had somebody say that. Like, I didn't realize my teacher was the teacher was legit until like I sit with this kid for the past week. He's a dick.
yeah, exactly. So, are there any like apps that you use or softwares that you use that help your business grow or that have helped make your life easier? I know there's like the meditation app. I don't know. So, do you recommend certain apps or software?
So I don't do too much with the meditation app.
Mhm.
I do this thing called breath work, and it's actually done through like Zoom. So that's been really
Oh.
helpful. Yeah. Really the main thing that's helped me is just like, Instagram, you can really propel your business. Facebook, you have Facebook groups, you can be in a community even though you're quarantined. But there hasn't been really anything like there's actually it's called Clipomatic, I think.
Clipomatic.
I'm gonna look that up actually real quick. I just realized that. Clipomatic is what I think it's called. And you can record a video in it. It will automatically put captions at the bottom.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is really helpful because not everybody, yeah, it's Clipomatic, one word. But yeah, not everybody is like sitting there listening to you. Some of them just want to
Yeah.
like read the captions. I'm one of those people. So
Like
like
on
having
Instagram
that,
stories?
exactly. And
Yeah.
it'll do 1 minute clips, and then you can upload that 1 minute clip onto Instagram story, and then they'll split it up and you have the captions already there.
Oh, that's so awesome. I
Yeah.
need that because I'm always like, when I talk on my Instagram story, I'm like, okay, I don't think anybody listens to this because I don't really listen to people's story. I'd rather read the caption. And I'm like, but it takes so long. I don't want to have to just like rewatch my video and then like type it up and then like figure it out. Like, so for that to automatically do it for me, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I don't know if it does the filters. I haven't figured out how to get the filters on there, which kind of sucks because like I really like the moon filters, but it is what it is, It makes your life so much easier. It's pretty
Yeah.
accurate too. I think I only had to correct like one mistake
Oh,
in
wow.
like a
And it's
video. Yeah.
easier. It's easy to correct it. You can just go in and
Yeah.
edit. Oh,
It'll
wow.
actually split it all up between like words. So you can just go in and scroll down and it's by word. And then you can just change the one word and then save it and it works. It's great.
Oh, I'm definitely going to save that one.
Yeah. I
Write
think it's
that
like
one down.
$5.
Really?
Yeah. And it's just like a one-time thing when you get it in the app store and then you're done. You're good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, are you a reader? Do you read books?
Yes.
Yes,
I
I'm
am
such a
always reading books.
bookworm. So, what are you currently reading, and what is one book that changed your life?
I actually just finished this Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. I've been rereading her books. It's I started rereading them like at the beginning of the pandemic because like when you have anxiety, a cool thing is like always knowing the ending of something. So I wanted to read it and kind of get back to doing that every night. And I was like, oh, well, I don't have to stress out about these stories like right before bed and be like, but does this happen or not? Like I can just reread books I already know the ending to. And it's really it's a little girly, but it's really cool. She's like a teen self-help book, I think is what she labeled
Oh,
herself as. But it's like normal everyday challenges of like a senior girl in high school or something. It's like the summer between high school and college and what she's going through, how she heals and how she's forward. And it's really cool.
yeah.
Like looking at them like as an adult now, because I read them in high school, I was like, damn, these are actually like really cool books for like, when you're a teenager going through high school, you're like a young adult. It's like really inspiring and it's everyday things. So it's not like, some crazy story or some like my best friend stopped talking to me kind of thing, like my mom is narcissistic or something. And
Yeah.
I
I
don't know
think
if I'm
that's
explaining it right.
I think that's so important because there's not that many self-help books for teenagers. I mean, maybe I just don't know of them, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of the self-help books are all for like the young adult or the 40 something, 30 something. I think the teenagers need more self-help books just because they're the ones like they're the like once they turn 18, they're on their life, they're like on their own pretty much, and it's like
Yeah.
they could be lost. But if they have like a self-help book, if they get used to reading and then they get used to like either asking for help or just like being able to like help themselves, like their mind, and control their mind at a young age, I think that's really important.
Yeah, exactly. And just knowing that like what you're going through is normal. Like so normal it's in a book.
Right. Yeah. And like what you were saying when you said if you could go back and tell your younger self one piece of advice, would be like, it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
you'll get through this.
You're fine. You're normal, I promise.
It's so true.
The book that changed my life though was actually The Compound Effect by
Oh, I
Darren
love that
Hardy.
book. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the first personal development book. And I remember reading it and it just like clicked. I was like, holy shit, I can make like these small little things and like big changes happen in your life. And it was so cool. And then, kind of like was the catalyst for a lot of things with me helping with my anxiety because I was never big on like affirmations. And then, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, but if you say this every day, it's going to add up and eventually it's going to become your natural mindset mantra in your head. But it was because of that groundwork of that one, like, I don't know, it's like 150-page book. It's so small. It's
Yeah.
not even big.
But it's so much power in that little book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause
It's so huge.
yeah, it's so true. And it's like, okay, if you're like battling something, if you have a goal and you're like, okay, I can never reach this goal. And it's just like little tiny things will equal out to something huge.
Yeah.
And it breaks it down. And it's especially good. I actually recommended it to somebody that was struggling with addiction. And I'm like, just try for one day and then make it to the next day. And pretty soon you'll make it 30 days.
Yeah. If you look at it like I could never do drugs for the rest of my life and you're like 20, it seems so huge. But if it's just
Mhm.
like just today, just
Just
tomorrow,
today.
just the
Yeah,
next day, like,
exactly.
and just keep going, it's so much easier.
Yeah. Cool. So what can people expect from you in the future? Like, what do you have going on in the future?
Oh my God. So many things. So many
That's
things.
exciting.
Like I ever since I've had this time at home, it's been like really fun to just like brain dump and get all these great ideas. I have a 6-month mastermind that I'm working on like a beta right now to do like a short version just to see how the content resonates with people. It's going to be super discounted. I don't know when I'm releasing that because I'm still working on it. So I'm thinking like within the next month. And I still have courses and mini minds and like all these things. I'm just like
Ah,
trying to get them all down. And I just started my podcast like a week ago. So it's so much fun.
yeah, that's awesome. What's your podcast?
First Steps to Sanity.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's exciting. See, that's like stuff that I'm doing also. Like, I just launched my podcast, and then eventually I want to get into like courses and stuff like that. So that's so cool that you're doing it and you're like pushing through and getting things
So
done.
much fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like in such this like alignment right now. I'm like
Ah,
ready for it.
I love it. See, like the compound effect, little steps.
Yeah, all these little things, and I'm just like, this is the best day ever. Every day is the best day. It's great.
Oh, I love that. That's so awesome. So, where can people find you?
So I'm most active on Instagram, which is First Steps to Sanity, and it's TO, not the number 2. And I'm doing a lot with my podcast right now, and my email list is like all the good stuff. But if you go to my Instagram, you can there's actually a link in my bio where it has the links for everything. So you can get on the email list, you can get on all the podcasts,
Cool.
everything.
Awesome. And you said you have a mailing list. How often do you send out emails? Does it tell you?
Every week.
Oh, cool. And it has
Yeah.
everything with like your course and all of that stuff?
Well, I promote my course. But I do it in like a couple times a year. I'll promote my course in it. But right now we're just like Witchy Wednesdays where the podcast is released and then there's an affirmation that's sent out with like a riff on it so they can kind of get that alignment with it. And it's a cute little graphic that I'm super proud of.
Oh, yay, that's exciting. I love that. I know, like, I get so excited when I make graphics for anything that I'm doing. I'm like, I love this. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm just biased though.
I get so excited for graphics. Like I never thought I would, but I do. I get like so excited.
It's the truth. Okay, well, thanks. And I love this interview. Like, I feel like it was just perfect. I don't know. I feel like the reader or the listeners will get a lot from it. So thanks for
Awesome.
coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. This is Breaking Through Barriers with Amanda Mirus and Rebecca with First Steps to Sanity.